This is Straight Good, just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel?
Unique story. He lived a whole life.
Plain.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend Michele Berra, let me tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. You can call Drew, or you can text him if you're into texting, 405-478-7714, or Aaron, 405-773-5500 today. You guys, you need an agent that can help you navigate severe weather or anything that can happen on your property. Aaron and Drew are local agents who specialize in protecting homeowners and real estate investors' most valuable assets. And these are guys that you can trust. I can tell you that, listen, last year, Shelter ranked number 1 on the Forbes list of the world's best auto insurance companies. And right here in Oklahoma, they've been ranked number 1 for customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 6 out of the last 7 years. Yes, that's 6-7, guys. But honestly, what you need to know so you can trust these guys, and they're huge Thunder fans too. So if you give them a call, you can say, "Hey, man, Thunder up." They're going to be very excited to hear that. So give them a call or text today. Support the people that support down to dunk. All right, with me today is my good friend Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
You should also support Michele trying to change his recording setting.
Yeah, it's we've had some technical difficulties on Michele's end today, which happens. We all have technical difficulties. I'm guilty of them myself, of my internet crapping out. So listen, I'm no one to talk here. So who's not crapping out? It's the Oklahoma City Thunder, as they just continue to roll through the NBA. They beat Charlotte on Saturday night in Charlotte. They were down several players, and the Thunder kind of let him stay in this one for a little while, maybe a little longer than I felt comfortable with. And then they just turned it on in the third quarter, and the Hornets looked pretty helpless after a few minutes. And then, it was a game that you thought maybe Shea's going to have to play the fourth quarter in Charlotte on this very cool court against a team with very cool jerseys. And that was not the case. He played 29 minutes, had 33 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, only 1 turnover to 7 assists. That's crazy. 2 steals. He had a ridiculous game once again.
Yeah, I mean, the Hornets started off the game shooting like crazy, a crazy number of threes. And also making a huge amount of threes. In OKC, weirdly enough, they didn't take barely any three for the first 2 quarters. A weird game. OKC, I think it was a little bit slow to get into a rhythm. I think that Lou Dort had 2 quarters to adjust to the rhythm of the game, which is okay. But it was kind of, hey, let's see if we can find ourselves quickly enough. And it took them 2 quarters. And then basically, I think in the middle of the second quarter, Shea decided, hey, nobody can guard me. So I'll just,
Sorry.
I'll just take whatever shots the defense gives me and just getting to the nail over and over. It's been like after the first 4 or 5 games of the season, the free throw numbers for Shea are extremely weird. He's not
Yeah.
getting less contacts. He's not getting less at the rim, but for some reason the attempts are really low, and it's I mean, it's not really creating any issue for OKC, but it's something weird, very weird.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do with that. Like, yeah, his free throw rate is down quite a bit, but
Yeah.
he's still scoring. It feels like he's scoring easier than he did
Yeah.
last year in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. And like that third quarter, the Thunder had a 16-1 run from the 9 minute 55-second mark to the 6:13 mark, and then they had another 14-5 run to end the quarter, and that pretty much ended this whole thing. Both led by Shea. Shea had 9 of the 16 points in the first one, and had 6 of the 14 in the second run that they had that kind of just slammed the door shut on the Hornets. And I mean, he's a guy who leads the league in total drives again. He's been just as good scoring. He's actually taking, I think this is kind of the more interesting thing, is that every year Shea evolves his game in some way.
Mhm.
The way that you're seeing it this year is like he's trying to get off ball more, and he's
Yeah.
trying to find ways to score off ball. He's taking more catch and shoot threes than he ever has in his career. I need to look at the stat again, but last I saw, he was taking 1.7 spot up threes per game, which
He
is
takes one off a screen against
Yeah.
Charlotte,
yes, he did.
which rarely happens. Like very rarely happens.
Yeah, I'm just really intrigued to see how he continues to evolve his game, because he wants he's expressed his desire to get better. He talks about how he wants to be like a coach on the floor, like Rondo was,
Mhm.
but he's also learning how to score in more effective ways. And I do think it will be really crucial for this team to get him off the ball, to get him back on the ball later.
Mhm.
Which is, I think that's something that we've talked about on this show. I think that he's talked about that too, and I think that he's starting to kind of figure that out to a degree. So it's just kind
You
of
need
cool.
also personnel to do that. Like you need someone who can actually create something off the dribble. So
there's
AJ Mitchell is
somebody
crucial,
there.
even if he's not scoring every single night, 15 plus. The fact that he can pressure the rim with his dribble helps Shea, because if you have someone who can handle but not put pressure on the rim, then having Shea off the ball is not really all that interesting. And I'm not saying that Dub is a player that is bad with the ball in a sense. It's clearly not. But it has a different way. He has yet to find groove with Shea as being the lead ball handler. J-Dub is. And I mean, it's usually the other way around. And this ties with the things that we were discussing last week, saying when J-Dub comes back, they have a unique opportunity to practice J-Dub with Shea, with maybe J-Dub having a little bit more on-ball duties. And that is something that I'm really interested in, because with AJ, it works. And I think that J-Dub is quite the better player. So it should work like that. And I think that this is something that they didn't have a ton of time to practice last year, mainly because they had to play separated in order to give OKC a lift whenever Shea was on the bench. Right now, they really don't. That unit with AJ Mitchell, the two big men, and Caruso is a fantastic lineup. Without Caruso, it's not the same. But with him, and you can pencil in Wiggins or Joe or Kaysen, and that unit works like a charm.
Yeah, that unit is kind of the secret weapon to the fact that they've only lost one game. And
Yeah.
some of it's the schedule, some of it's that, but like it's hard to lose games when you have like the bench death lineup, you know? It's like when
Yeah.
you go to the second quarter, when you go to the third quarter, like you have this lineup to throw out there that teams just have no chance against. Like they have no chance against it. And it's only going to get better as guys come back. And we still don't have like a clear timeline on Dub, but I would expect it to be relatively soon that we see him. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that this team has a really high ceiling, and we haven't seen it yet. We've seen glimpses of it, and it's gonna. The Thunder have they have a very easy schedule, and it's like been an easy schedule to start the season. But they've won the games they're supposed to win, and even some that I didn't think they would. I thought that they would drop one of the back-to-backs against the Warriors and Lakers, and like Thunder fans, don't let those two games skew the way you think about those two teams. Those two teams have played really well this season. They've been really good, and they have both overachieved in a lot of different ways. Curry, went from OKC just getting absolutely manhandled by Cason Wallace, and then went down to San Antonio and was a monster in San Antonio and won a game. The Lakers continue to kind of roll, except for when they play the Thunder, and that just shows you like how special this team is, even without their full complement of players. In most of those games, or in both those games, they didn't have Lou Dort, which I think is really important defensively. But I also think that it was a really, really interesting opportunity, and we've seen a lot of people get interesting opportunities throughout the beginning of this season. But to see Cason do what he did against first Steph Curry and then Luka Doncic was just like, it was very eye-opening to me, because those were guys that he wasn't particularly great against in the past. I think probably Curry is one that he's done a good job in the past, but I don't think he's done that great against Luka. And we're talking about
being extremely kind with him not being that great against Luka. I think that there were moments in the last 2 years where you could say, he's not ready to guard Luka, period.
Yeah. And he was ready. And as he gets a little bit more experience and learns to watch film, which apparently was not really a thing for him, but is becoming more of a thing for him. I don't know, man. Like he's a really interesting player. I know there's a lot. I'm getting a lot of people like in my mentions talking about how, we could just get rid of Lou Dort because we have Cason. Cason's so much better offensively. I think Cason's better at different things offensively. He hasn't shown to be the shooter that Dort is. And I know that Dort hasn't shown to be the shooter that he is so far this season, which also might skew the way we think about him. But having a three-point threat like Lou is still really important to this team. And so I don't, for whatever reason, and maybe this is 100% your fault, Michele, I don't know, but everybody's always ready to get rid of Lou Dort. Whenever
I think that it's the perception that OKC has to do something.
Yeah,
which
maybe.
Is clearly not the case. I mean, they can do something. The only thing that I've learned to react to OKC's way of doing is, hey, they really know they will not rush into any decision that is not on their timeline, and they will not doing things in a conventional way. So technically, once you have Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, to a certain degree, well, to many degree, J-Dub, Chet, you already have your defensive unit. So why do you need to put 16 million or 18, whatever is this year's salary for Lou Dort? The point is, why not? Why not having an extra defender so that you can have 4 great perimeter defenders instead of 3?
Yep.
When you do have to make choices, when you do have to make a choice between keeping Lou Dort and extending maybe a guy like Cason Wallace or AJ Mitchell, then you will probably have to make a choice. But it's not now.
No,
and it's
close to now. Like they got time.
Yeah. Well, is there a way in which OKC has to change its starting unit? Has to, meaning some of the players that are currently on the bench force the hand of Mark Dignault. Can it happen? Sure, it can. It's not because Lou Dort is not a great player. It's because Kaysen, AJ Mitchell are guys that can claim a starting unit spot in the near future. And that is real. I mean, we have seen that. We have seen AJ Mitchell play like a star in a few games. We've seen Kaysen Wallace taking that starting job and being very good at it. So there might be moments where OKC has to face this choice as a team. Like, who's the best starting guard on our team? The answer may not be Lou Dort. Lou Dort can claim the starting unit for another couple of seasons and then doing something different. So again, I would not put too much discussions or thoughts into this here fitting or like moving or whatever about Lou Dort. Lou Dort is an integral part of this team. His performance in the playoffs has changed a lot in terms of opinions that I might have in the past, and even in other moments of his career. He's a competitor. You need competitors. You need guys that are not afraid to shoot in the moment where you need a shot, and you need guys that can lock down anybody.
Yeah, and Kaysen could evolve to be that. He wasn't necessarily that in the playoffs this year. There were a lot of moments where he was not present offensively, and like the good news for the Thunder is like they are going to have room to give these guys the time and space to like get playoff experience, get experience in the starting lineup, get experience coming off the bench. I mean, the kind of awesome thing about Mark is that he's so malleable with everything he does that it gives these guys so many different experiences. And like the hope is like Kaysen will be a better player in the playoffs this year, and that they can, take one from the page of Lou Dort and like not be afraid to take shots. I can't not think about the 3 threes against Denver in Game 5. I think that Game 5 was like one of the more pivotal games in the history of this team, and it was Lou that was ready to take those shots. And if we'd have paused the game before those 3 threes, and like everybody in the arena had like a little button they could push to take Lou Dort out of the game, everyone would have taken him out of the game. Everybody would have been like, "Yep, somebody else, please."
Well, maybe not after the first 2. Come on.
I mean, before any of the threes went down.
Yeah, but do you think that even after the first 2 going down, you would on the third one probably you would be a little bit hesitant?
Oh, you'd keep him in after the first one went down. But I'm just saying before any of the threes went down, and you have the choice, like pull him, get him out of there.
Yeah,
and
he
you
was
know what?
bad against Denver in the first 2 games.
He was. It was really bad. And Mark did pull him in Game 4.
Which is part of the story with Lou Dort. Someone might say, okay, if you have a better version of Lou Dort, a slightly less peak version of Lou Dort, meaning you can get less highs but also less lows, maybe OKC would be better off. It's certainly something that I dwell.
Michele's cutting out big time. Michele, are you with me? Oh, I'm going to remove him real quick and see if we can get his internet back. Okay. We're actually going to have a little bit of a shorter show today because I have something to do at 1:30. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the injury report. The Thunder play the Pelicans tonight in New Orleans. And so we'll talk about that game right after this quick break. And we're back after that quick break. Before we talk about the injury report tonight for the Pelicans game, I want to tell you about my good friends at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brennan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Give them a call. 405-621-1555. You can schedule your appointment today there or online at ringfamilydentistry.com. Okay, Michele, tonight in New Orleans, the Thunder will be without Kenrich Williams still, who's still recovering from his knee getting cleaned up. J-Dub, who's still recovering from his wrist procedure. Aaron Wiggins with the left abductor strain. Obviously, Topic and Sorber as well. And then Alex Caruso is questionable with hand soreness. So it looks like Jay will be back in the lineup. And then for the Pelicans, their two-way guys, Trey Alexander, Hunter Dickinson are on G League assignment. DeJounte Murray is still out from his Achilles injury. Jordan Poole is out from a left quad strain. And then Zion Williams.
Oh, no. That's bad for us.
Yeah, it's kind of bad for us. And then Zion Williamson is questionable with a left hamstring strain. Not great for Zion. So
no.
So far this season, the Thunder are number 1 in net rating, and the Pelicans are 28th in net rating. The Thunder have a plus 15.4 net rating. The Pelicans have a minus 13.1 net rating. That's so bad.
That's bad.
So bad. They have
Who's last? Washington?
Yeah, Washington. They're a minus 16 so far this season.
In absolute value, it's harder than what OKC is doing.
Right?
Be that bad.
Yeah, the Pelicans defense is 18 points per 100 possessions worse than the Thunder's defense.
So
currently,
it's 121 and change.
Yeah, it's 100 and almost 121. So
yeah,
it's pretty bad. And I was looking at this earlier for OKC. You shouldn't necessarily do this, but I was just curious what it looked like. But if the Thunder are plus 15 net rating, which would be the best net rating of all time, if they were able to hold that, and they won't because they've played such a cake schedule. But if you took out those 2 overtime games to start the season, the Thunder are plus 17.3 with a 101 defensive rating, 119 offensive rating. They've been ridiculous so far this season. And a lot of it because Shea has been that good. And I think Shea is being overlooked in a lot of ways. I don't know. I know he won MVP, and I don't know. I just don't think that people talk about him in a way that people should. I think for whatever reason, he's easy to overlook. He's scoring 30 at will in 3 quarters. I think he's done it 7 times so far this season. Scored 30 in 3 quarters. I mean, that's just bonkers.
That's insane.
He's leading I think his leadership is something that's overlooked. I think his defense is something that's overlooked. I don't know. To start the season, I don't feel like there's as many people talking about Shea. They certainly talk about the Thunder, and a lot of it is the depth, and it's more fun to talk about AJ Mitchell, and certainly we've been guilty of that in some ways as well. But I mean, to me, like, this guy should be leading MVP talks, like the two-way guard that he is, the leader that he is. I feel like he's a better player this year than he was last year. The Thunder are on track to like do something very historic this year with regards to wins, and they haven't had their full complement of players. And, I think that they still have, yes, they have great depth. That's amazing. But like, just think about the Nuggets if they didn't have Aaron Gordon. What does their record look like?
Yeah.
Probably not nearly as good because Aaron Gordon's been amazing. And the Thunder have a guy that's better than Aaron Gordon on their team, and J-Dub, who has missed every single one of these 14 games. And they've largely been able to hold this whole thing together because they have Shea, who's the MVP, who you can count on literally every single night. So I don't know. I just wonder when people are going to like start to talk about Shea in a way that like is deserving, because I think that we're watching like the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan of this generation. Like, that's who it is. And like, those guys would get talked about every single day on Sports Center and on all these talk shows and everything. And maybe it's because Shea's not controversial in any way whatsoever. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but like we're talking about the preeminent scoring guard of this generation. And maybe it's because it's in Oklahoma City. Maybe that's part of the deal. But that's who this is. And I just think like people should be talking about him regularly on shows. And I say this because I listen to a lot of shows. Part of my job is to just kind of know what the heartbeat of like every podcast is saying and what everything is going on. And so I just wonder about that, about Jay. We're losing Michele again. Just a rough day. Just a rough technological day for Michele. Are you there?
Sorry.
There you are.
It is not helping. My new recording location will not last. I will be better next week. Apologize. I apologize for that. But anyhow, I think that the OKC part of the discussion is probably a thing. It's also a thing, and it shouldn't be, that the team is so great, even without Shea on the court, that one can say, well, they might be a playoff team even without him. They might be a contender even without, which is absolutely insane to say, because he literally is the one who pulls games apart.
Yeah.
I think it's the part of his game that is not discussed enough. I mean, we know about the defense. We know about the blocks. We know about the fact that he baits foul. Dear Lord, just watch any other superstar and you'll be surprised how little Shea baits for foul compared to someone else. The point is, he's so incredibly efficient in anything he does on the court that this is the secret sauce for OKC. If Shea was not this efficient, it doesn't really matter if he's a nice personality. There will be just no space for others to get their fair share. The fact that he can score 30 on 15, 16 shots, 22 offensive possessions in 3 quarters is actually allowing guys like J-Dub, AJ Mitchell, Chet. Chet is having, by the way, a sensational last few games. It's just fantastic. Just playing all NBA level, if you hear me. So the point is, Shea's efficiency, and I'm sure that I made this point in the past, is what separates. It is also what makes Curry special. I mean, the fact that with so few shots, he could be on a 30-point, I would say, performance. It really helps to have space for others. And he's doing it not just with the 3 ball. He's doing with getting at the rim, getting mid-rangers. He is superb in efficiency when he takes pull-up jumpers from the mid-range. And that is like being hyper efficient from 3 levels. There are very few players in the history of the game that can be around 50%, if not better, on mid-range, around 37, 38% from 3, and super efficient at the rim, also able to generate fouls. How many of them do you really know? Jordan was not this 3-point shooter. Other area. It was another age. LeBron James, not the same shooter. Clearly much better in many other things. I'm not comparing to. I'm just thinking about scoring. KD was one of the guys. Not really as proficient at the rim, but these are the type of scorers that we are discussing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he currently leads the league in third quarter scoring per game at 12.2 points per game, shooting 58% from the field, 48% from 3, 2 boards, 2 assists, only half a turnover in that time. Like he's been ridiculous. And like the third quarter, like thunderstorms that happen
This is Shea.
It's Shea. Like it begins with Shea. And like that's what it is. And like there's a lot else going on. and I get that, but like it all starts with him. It all
Yeah.
begins with him, and the leadership, the fact. I mean, I really truly believe like AJ is awesome, and he's going to be a really great player. And I think like the ceiling of an AJ Mitchell is very high, but I think it really has a lot to do with the environment that he's in. And I think like he's a special kind of player that we've talked about can kind of hop on a moving train and can be a part of something special. But the fact that he gets to learn from some of the more special players in the NBA, that's part of the story.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why he can become this player. And like just look at like drives. You look at total drives this season. And AJ, I think, is let's see. So Shea's number 1 in total drives this season.
Yeah.
256 drives in 14 games is just bananas. And you look at where AJ Mitchell is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 8th in total drives this season. He's
Yeah.
he's had one less drive than Jalen Brunson, a guy that I kind of compare him to. He's had more drives, and some of this is Thunder have played 14 games, and not many teams have played that many games, but he's got more drives this season total than Siakam, Tyrese Maxey, John Morant, Josh Giddey, Dyson Daniels, Steph Castle, James Harden, Franz Wagner, Paolo, Austin Reeves, and he's played more games than a lot of these guys. But the fact that we're talking about AJ Mitchell, we're talking about like a second-year player that was a second-round pick that the Thunder, and I just continue to point you guys back to like the transaction log that the Thunder had to trade Lindy Waters to get into the second round, and then they had to trade up twice to get him. Like it was like they were on a mission.
Yeah.
Go get him. It wasn't just by accident. Like, oh, he fell to us, so like we'll take him. It was like, no, like the transaction log says they were trying to get him. Like that was their guy.
Do you think that something got mixed up in the draft process where they actually wanted to get him with the first round pick and then somehow
No, I think it was actually my guess is that it was a priority to get him on the 2-way. And also like teams, as like the draft is unfolding, teams have a pretty good idea of where guys are going to go. And they have like, my guess is that they got pretty good indication that AJ was going to be available at that spot in the second round.
Yeah, still, you're taking a chance that he's not. Anyhow, it's not an if that we'll ever see the light.
No,
so
I'm telling you, like they were clearly on a mission to go get him, and it was that like second, they had the second round, like on TV. It was weird. It was very weird. But anyways, like he showed up and he was really, really good. He was really, really good for OKC, and like the fact that he's one of like the league leaders in drives. He's a guy that like is an automatic paint touch. I think like the sky's the limit for this guy, and it's just really fun to watch him. And I'm excited to watch them against the Pelicans tonight. I've actually got to go, Michele. Anything else that we want to talk about? I've got like 1,000 things I want to talk about, but
yeah, me too. But I mean, it's a short pod. Entirely my fault. I apologize to the listeners. Next week I will try to be better at this. One thing that I want to see tonight is I mean, I really want to see more of the Chet Hartenstein connection, because it's something that was not there too much against Charlotte, and I think that against props to Kalkbrenner. I really think that
he's good. Kalkbrenner's good. He can play.
Yeah, against the Pelicans, we can see a bit more of that, and it's not that I want to see to prove anything. I just want to see it because I like it.
Yeah. Probably a little bit easier against Derek Queen, and no shade at Derek Queen. I like Derek Queen.
Also interested to see Derek Queen.
Yeah, we actually get to see him because they have a new coach in place. So we will have another pod for you, recapping the Pelicans game, previewing the Kings game. The Thunder schedule this week is kind of laughable. Pelicans, Kings, Jazz. So it's really just a, hey, stay focused, Thunder, because you can have all 3 of these wins, but you got to stay focused to get them.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of more of a battle of like, how focused can you be? So it'll be interesting to see. So I hope you guys enjoy the game tonight, and we will talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
I'm down to dunk. I'm down to dunk.